Okay.
میخوان صفحه‌شو بگیم که داشته باشین تو ویدیو.
هفته پیش همیشه برقا کردیم. هفته پیش. میدونم ولی برقا نکردیم.
Mishnah. We spoke last time, we spoke about Lechachtuna Tatilachem Toratiel Tazovu. So now we are Mishnah Daled. Mishnah Daled in 6 Perek. Kachi Darka Shel Torah. Kachi Darka Shel Torah. This is the way of Torah. 6 Perek. Kachi Darka Shel Torah.
صفحه 120.
You are at the end. At the end, it's another perush. Go back to the beginning more. No. At the end is another commentary. Go back to the beginning of the book. Not the beginning, but you'll find Shishi again. Okay, good. So Mishnah Dalet Kachi Darka Shel Torah. This is the way of Torah. Pat b'melach tochal. Eat bread with salt. Apparently, we need salt in our diet to be healthy. Right? My wife's grandmother, Alaa Shalom, she said she remembered in the late 40s, early 50s in New York. So you're talking about New York City, it's summertime, before ACs were that good or that prevalent. And before our diet was so full of junk. So everybody emphasized, all the doctors, make sure to take your salt tablets. You have to take a couple of salt tablets a day, so their sodium levels do not go too down, because it's very dangerous. If our body's sodium go down, that's not healthy. Body cannot function properly. Right, so in the summer you sweat a lot, you lose a lot of sodium, and it's bad. Right? So those days are gone because of a couple of reasons. First of all, Baruch Hashem, we live much more comfortable. We come out of the air-conditioned house, we go to the air-conditioned car. We literally don't sweat as much. But the real reason is because our diet. No matter what you do, our diet, as much as we try to be natural, it's not natural. And anything processed you eat has salt in it. Anything processed you eat, they have to add salt, or it wouldn't survive, it wouldn't last. It preserves it. So we have a lot of salt in our diet. Even bread, it's unbelievable. Bread used to not to stay on shelves so long. And Gemara says, Pat b'melach, eat bread with salt. That's talking about bread that had no salt in it. But if the bread has salt already, so you don't need to add separate salt. You ever heard of nowadays making bread without salt? They actually baked bread without salt. The only one we know is matzah. Matzah has no salt. And no bread is ever baked without salt nowadays. The says, no, we're talking about pata melach tochal, because the bread itself didn't have salt. If the bread had salt, so then you don't need to add salt. At any rate, nowadays we need to cut back on our salt. But not having enough salt, I actually know someone, she should live and be well, who was taken to ICU. She was really a healthy person, and she had no salt in her diet whatsoever. No salt. And she was in a coma because of lack of salt. They didn't catch it till late. She fainted. She was in a coma for Baruch Hashem. For a couple of days. She was in a very dangerous situation. At any rate, so that's Kachi Darka Shel Torah, Pat b'melach tochal, u'bayim b'mesura tishteh. And also drink a little bit of water. That should suffice. Ba'al ha'aretz tishan, and sleep on the ground. No need for, I don't know the words even, therapeutic, this, that, whatever, mattress. None of those. What? Posturpedic. V'chayi tza'ar tichyeh, and live a hard life, u'batorah ta'amel, and work hard in Torah. Be'yata oseken, if you do this, ashrecha v'tov lach. Now here, this is the kicker. If you live like this, ashrecha v'tov lach. Happy are you, and good is for you. Why is that? Ashrecha ba'olam hazeh, You're happy in this world. Right? Seems they had a different definition of happy than us. In this world, it says Mishnah, you're happy in this world. Unbelievable. וטוב לך לעולם הבא. Okay, we will continue. וטוב לך לעולם הבא. Not only עולם הזה, but even עולם הבא will be absolutely good. So what does that mean really? I mean, is this Mishnah telling us, we know, Chachamim do not exaggerate. Chachamim do not give us sound bites. They don't say something they don't mean. Their words are very, very measured. I mean, you learn Gemara, says, why did you say this word? Why didn't you say that word? Right? Every word was measured. Every single word was measured. So obviously, when they say something, they mean it. They're not talking in sound bites. They're not exaggerating. So are they actually recommending that we go home and get rid of all our mattresses and go to the freezer, empty everything that is not bread and salt, and you know what? Is that what is being recommended in this Mishnah? This is the way of Torah. Bread and salt, little bit of water, sleep on the ground. Is that what they're saying? So what are they saying? They're not saying this is what you should do. They're saying you should not be such that if you have to make do with these things, you lose yourself. You have, Baruch Hashem, a good, nice breakfast of orange juice and the toast and the cereal and the cream cheese and the cottage cheese. Kol hakavod. Eat it as long as one eats healthy, as long as one doesn't overeat all the other halachot. Kol hakavod. But the day that you have to eat plain bread, the world hasn't come to an end. That's what Ramchan and others explain. Kachid HaKosher Torah means be ready. It's not impossible. Don't be so like, today I'm not myself. What happened? When my wife packed my lunch, she forgot to put the tomato in the sandwich. The world has come to an end. You see people like this sometimes. It's just the whole afternoon he's in a bad mood. Why is that? Because you forgot the pickle or the tomato or whatever it is. It's not, the sandwich is not exactly like I liked it. Or for that matter, even if one skips one meal, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. So you go to the next meal. Is it so impossible? No. Why is it that we get in a bad mood? And poor the person that calls us. He's done nothing wrong. He calls us and we get angry at him. What do you want from my life? What? Just because we skipped lunch. Now all that is really in our head. That's what Mishnah is saying. Mishnah is saying one could, and one should, and one must. Learn that yes, it's good, Baruch Hashem, and I have the sandwich with the tomato and the pickles. Nice. Right, as long as he's not getting too much salt in his diet, right? And pickle that salt again. As long as one is eating healthy, it's okay. But the point is, if you have to eat plain bread also, good. I manage. Right? I live. It's not earth-shattering. Nothing in the world should be such that I lose myself over it. No, I'll be fine no matter what. It's nice if I could get, Baruch Hashem, a nice meal, but even if it's not called a nice meal, even if it's a piece of bread, so Baruch Hashem, my hunger will be satisfied. I'll be able to live. I don't have to be angry. I don't have to be upset. Right? I guess time has passed, and slowly everybody forgets everything and gets used to new thing. But I remember back when I was in America about a year, 3 months, my roommate said, I don't understand. How come things don't bother you? Right? The norm in yeshiva is to complain about everything. The food is not as good as it was at your home. The bed is not as good as it was at your home. The lighting is not as good. Nothing is as good. You just complain. Nothing is good. So he said, look, when the smugglers were taking me, I literally had to sleep on rocks. So yeah, is this the best mattress? No, it's not the best mattress, but it's much better than it could have been. I literally slept on rocks. I wasn't comfortable at all. So Allah Tishan. If you see that you could even survive that, if you see, you'll be fine even that. Doesn't mean you don't want to do better. Doesn't mean, by the way, not to have ambition. We spoke about this before. Ambition is really a good thing. Ambition is a very human thing. It's not, animals do not have ambition. That tells you one thing. Ambition comes from our neshama. We were given a feeling of always wanting to grow and become better. That is purely spiritual. A physical thing is very flat. It's a plateau. The cow wants to go and eat the same thing, come back to the same shelter every day. Have no ambition for any change. Ambition is a spiritual thing. So this mission doesn't mean don't have ambition. I do want to make your life better, do want to make your house bigger. But the only thing, as long as you have whatever you have, if one truly wants to live a way of Torah, whatever I got today, that's good. That will do. That's why I told them, look, I literally went a week without food and we were in struggle. We were smuggled out of Iran. So I'm going to complain, that was a very common complaint in our yeshiva, that the chicken was too oily. Okay. So take a couple of paper towels and try to dry it a little bit. Things should not be such a huge thing that make us dysfunctional. That's the point of this Mishnah. No. If you have a mattress, doesn't mean go sleep on the floor. Go sleep on your mattress. But the day that you do not have mattress, okay, so you sleep on the couch, right? Really, it's our mind, our perception that dictates to at least 90%, in my opinion, whether it was a good night's sleep or bad night's sleep. If one is so without mattress, okay. So it's going to be a hard time. It's going to be a hard time. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Doctors have to be trained to work 36 hours straight.
Who?
Doctors, before they get their license.
Because?
In case of emergency.
That's right.
36 hours straight.
36
without sleep.
I tell you, I have gone without food for long periods of time. Really long periods of time. And I personally, everybody is different obviously, I personally could manage, right? I could function without food. I had a stretch that I literally drank only water for 5 days. 5 days straight, I had no solid food, nothing, no soup even, nothing, just water. And I functioned fine. I was able to, nobody knew that I hadn't eaten. I functioned just fine, but asleep, I can't.
By design or by?
It worked out that way. No, I couldn't, whatever it was a situation I couldn't eat. But sleep, I hit the 36-hour mark, I'm done.
Maybe they sleep like half an hour.
I can't do it. I can't do it. So, but everybody is different. I mean, obviously, one could be trained. I've never had the training. I've been, 2 or 3 or 4 times in my life where I've been up for about 36 hours straight. Not many times. So everybody is different. But you're right. One could be trained to do anything. One could train himself to be anything. It's very, very possible. Very possible to work on any, but like you say, by the way, that is exactly the whole point. The whole point is that if they wait till the emergency time for them to stay up 36 hours, then they won't be able to function. If you train them once or twice or 3 times, then they see it's possible. They do the same thing to Navy SEALs. Navy SEALs, they keep them up. Not only that, they keep them up after they've been up for 36 hours, then they give them mental exercises. They give them math questions to solve. And why is that? Because sometimes you're going to be up for a long time and then you have to make decisions that are life and death. Hundreds, if not thousands of life will depend on it. what type of decision you make. So when you're tired, it's very hard to not want to think. It becomes a little bit more difficult. You train yourself, even that is possible. Everything is possible. But the beauty of it is, if you wait till the time comes, it's too late already. You train a couple of times beforehand, so it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. That's one of the reasons we fast. Nothing will happen on either day. Right? You just keep it. I mean, it's not such a big deal. It's not such a big deal. Okay. Good. So that's why, by the way, now we understand the Mishnah. It says, if you learn that, Ashrecha ba'olam hazeh, forget about olam haba of you. Ashrecha ba'olam, one learns to be happy like this. One learns to be happy. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Look. This is what we have. This is the. It's okay. So it's not. But I have bread. I have salt. What else is there? I'm not going to go hungry. Right? So the life itself becomes much happier. One who truly lives like this appreciates what he's got. Is much happier than the one who may have so much more, but hasn't taught himself, hasn't trained himself to appreciate it. Okay. Do not seek to be recognized as a person of power. Do not wish for respect. These are all perceptions. Right? Perek Shishi, Mishnah Daled. Towards the end of Mishnah Daled. Right? Truth of the matter is, we've discussed this a number of times. Oh, here is page Kuf Chaftet. Mishnah Daled, yeah, right there, Kachi. So go down like 4 lines. Al tevakesh gedula la'asmecha v'al tachmod kavod. We've discussed this many times. Right? Kavod, if one has to be given kavod, usually comes from low self-esteem. When one doesn't have a healthy image of himself, then he needs to be compensated with somebody standing for me. I mean, who I am should not matter in my own mind whether somebody stood up for me or didn't stand up for me, whether someone said this, whether they gave me a plaque, whatever these things is. Do I know who I am? And if I do know who I am, all these things should not matter. I recognize myself. I know if I am a respectable person. I know if I am an honest person. I know if I'm a good person. And that's how a person should have, a healthy self. Why do I need somebody? Why do I need somebody else to? They say the psychologists say that those who seek always affirmation, they suffer from lack of self-esteem. Somebody has to constantly say that you are this, you're great, you're this, for me to feel good. Worse yet, those who constantly have to put other people down. Now his wife says that's why Lashon Hara is so bad. So everything in Torah, the ones that Torah says it's horrible things, is because of the harm that is done to oneself. I tell you, Torah is never, right? I could get in trouble for saying this, but Torah is not as angry when you harm others as much as you harm yourself. There are some attitudes that just kill your growth. There are some attitudes that kill your growth. Now, one of them is Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara, you hurt another. You put him down, you put him down, you put him down, you put him down. You have to put everybody down. Why is this so bad? Because at the end of the day, it means you have no value for yourself. The only way you feel good about yourself is everybody else pushed down, so I see myself pushed up. Amongst people, I hate myself so much. I see myself so little, I need to push everybody else down. That's why Lashon Hara is so bad. So Torah says focus on building yourself. Why are you focusing on putting down everybody else? Focus on building yourself. What is it about yourself that whether you need to fix or whether you have a wrong image, you have to have a healthy self-image. That is why Rosh Hashanah, everything, by the way, you look around Torah, everything that Torah emphasizes a lot is because building of self is destroyed by it. The worst averot is because when you build yourself, then you're harmful to others. You're harmful to others, you're harmful to society. That's why it's so horrible. So therefore, why? One is responsible, one Baruch Hashem has what to contribute to the community. He does it. To know whether they gave me respect, they didn't give me respect. What difference does it make? You know, right? You do. Okay. Yoter milimudecha aseh. Always do more than you know. How is that possible? Right? How is it possible to do more than you know? How is it possible? Do more than you know. How is that possible?
By learning.
What?
By learning, studying it.
So he says, go learn more so you know to do more. Maybe that's one way of that. But it's talking about one's passion. One's passion. You see somebody's excited. Somebody's excited, he asks. So like you said, but he's talking about what is your passion in life? What is your passion in life? Your passion, you have passion for something, you get there more than you know. I read something, I was so impressed. And it made such an effect on me. Hopefully I remember it. They did an article in Reader's Digest years ago. They went to Chicago's inner ghetto or something, I don't know. But this neighborhood had produced and continues to produce a lot of the basketball players that end up in Chicago Bulls and from there to other teams. And I don't know, I'm not into sports. I don't know what is the college team or whether it's called. So they interviewed them. Right now, there are these parks and whatever. That there are these really, really good players that are hoping to get into college scholarship, etc. So they was interviewing them. Now, remember, this is Chicago we're talking about, horrible winters. So that's one of them, and they were talking about different stuff. But one thing stuck out by me. He says, by us, playing basketball is not what we do when we can. By us, this is what you do. If you can't, you find solutions. He says when it's 40 degrees, whatever, it's 20 degrees below and the wind chills are 40 degrees below, we play basketball with thermal clothing and a ski mask. Right? We just look around for a solution. Right? It's impossible. We have no visibility, so we find out how could you get visibility? Ski masks. Right? It's too freezing, so what kind of clothing will give us the opportunity to play more basketball? By them, it's not when you could basketball. They have to play this 20 hours a day, and no excuses will do. No excuses will do. Says if you're not here playing basketball, you better be dead. That was the sentence he used. Right? So that's what it is. They're training. They have a goal in mind, and that's what they go for. That's what they go for, right? Okay. So that is what it means to do yoter milimudecha. They are taught to play basketball when there is visibility, but they do even when there is no visibility, because when the passion is there, you find a way, you find a solution. No, it truly is there. If you have the will, you find a way. It's absolutely like that. Va'al tit'aveh le'shulchanam shel sarim. Do not desire for the lot of princes in the world. Sheshulchancha gadol mishulchanam. Because your lot is greater. What we have, if we truly appreciate it, is greater. What we were given, I just imagine, it's unbelievable. What is it that we're jealous of sometimes? What is it? He's driving this car and that car, and how much difference when you're in the car driving it? So how much difference does it make? It's smoother, it's so comfortable, yeah, true. But what is it? And you compare to other areas, compare these things to Olam Haba. It's a joke. It's meaningless. It's a joke. It's a joke. Why I'm jealous of this. I have Torah to be worried about. I have family, Baruch Hashem, to create a relationship with. This is what should occupy my mind. Right?
But they also get the Olam Haba, right? Even the going, if they do Shabbat Mitzvah enough, they get.
That is true. That is true. Right. The point over here is that if we remember what is the big deal in life, the smaller deals are much easier to fall into place. Alright. I think I said this story, joke, whatever you want to call it, maybe it's not so funny, but the lesson is really powerful. The lesson is really powerful. Like they say about this Persian grandfather, you could say the story any way you want. Persian grandfather takes his son to the beach, here by the, Pirke, go down to the beach. So he doesn't speak good English, the grandson doesn't speak good Farsi, communication is not easy between them, but at least he's trying, he wants to take his grandson. So, as it happens, unfortunately, I should say, a lot of times, the grandfather sees some of his friends, starts talking, a few minutes pass by, turns around, and the grandkid is gone. Nowhere to be seen. Screams, where are you? Right? Sees the kid is down there, whopping up and down in the water, Rahman Islam. And he starts to scream, doesn't know good English, points, this, that, till finally someone notices what he's doing, and they jump in the water and they bring the kid back. The kid is not breathing, yeah, breathing, they perform CPR. So finally they get him breathing. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Right? So the grandfather goes to the two guys who swam out and grabbed him, starts screaming at them, he doesn't know good English. What is it that you want? He starts pointing, using broken English sentences. Says, look, my grandson had a baseball cap on. Where's the baseball cap?
No.
Where is the baseball cap? Right? So, like, a lot of times in life, you're stuck with the baseball cap. We're stuck with the baseball cap. What is this? Right? I mean, think about it. Yes, it's a baseball cap. That's what it is. It's not nothing yet. It's a baseball cap. But compared to the big picture, what is it? Right? Think of the big picture in life. And then if everything is okay, so think of the baseball cap. Think of the baseball cap. Good. Right? And the one whom we work for, the one whom we follow, is trustworthy to give appropriate reward, appropriate, I should say, consequence, right? Recompense to everyone. Okay, we have a Rashi here, right? Rashi says the point that I said in the beginning of the Mishnah, Pat b'melach. So I said it doesn't mean that's what you have to do. It means if you are doing that, do not lose yourself. Do not become, all grumpy and dysfunctional just because you didn't have your favorite food. So he says, he's not talking about someone who is capable, that he must put himself through hardship and learn Torah. No. But what the Mishnah is saying is like this. Even if one is in the situation that the only thing he has that day is bread and salt, or he's in a situation that he's got no mattress, he's got no pillow, right? He must sleep on the floor. But still, one should not stop learning Torah and improving himself. Because one should, is a guarantee, one who, despite challenges of life, does Torah, learns Torah, so those challenges will go away. If somebody does Torah when I'm so busy and I can't make ends meet and I really have to work 9 hours, 10 hours a day, okay, fine, after the 10 hours I still go and find the time. Don't say, I'm so tired already, I work so. No, you do, so that's a guarantee that he will have success which will afford him more time. Now you're going to argue with me and say success will afford him less time, and that's a problem. That's a problem you won't have to deal with. Right? With success comes its own challenges. Do not be following and after ego, that because I learned Torah, they need to respect me. Because now it seems like you want the grandkid because of the baseball cap. Why do you want Torah? Because of the respect. It's the baseball cap. That's why I wanted him back, because of the baseball cap. Right? ששולחנך גדול משולחנם, הוא שכר שתקבל על לימודה של תורה. Okay. Good. All right.
Why did it say Kachi Darga Shel Torah Pad Melach Tocha? In other words, if we follow Torah, this is the derech of Torah, Pad Melach Tocha?
That if you are in such a situation, Tochal, the emphasis is on Tochal. Eat it, don't be grumpy. No matter where you are in life, accept it and move on. Don't be, like I said before, you were in here. Like, one day I don't have the meal exactly the way I want. The example I gave was, your wife packs your lunch, she forgot to put the tomatoes in the sandwich this time. So now the whole afternoon I'm going to be in a bad mood because I didn't get the lunch the way I like it. That's what Mishnah is talking about. Eat it, go on, be happy. Be happy with life, whatever situation, however it is that you're going to make ends meet today. Be happy with what you're going to move on. Right? Do not be stuck and now I have to be grumpy. And now everybody who calls me I have to scream at. And I'm in a bad mood. Because what? Because I had truth of the matter is, plain bread is pretty delicious. Mighty delicious. Right? Mighty delicious. I was reading about this American family went to Russia not so long ago. Not now, but not so long ago either. They bought bread. And the mother, she put it on top of the cabinet. 3 days later, she took it out and served it. The bread she bought today, put it up there for 3 days later. What's going on? So I cannot afford giving warm bread to my children. They eat warm bread, it's easy to eat, they eat a lot. The dry bread, they eat enough that they're not starving anymore. She cannot afford. Do you know what a world they were talking about? She cannot afford giving warm bread. We're not talking about what type of cheese is it there? Is it Swiss cheese or is it that cheese, or whether she gives them chicken or turkey? We're talking about plain bread. She cannot afford warm bread. Warm bread is eaten more than absolutely necessary. She didn't, she bought fresh bread, she put it up there to dry up. Plain bread is mighty delicious. Plain bread is pretty good. Why do we have to be so... Look, Baruch Hashem, like Rashi said, you have the Ashirut, Hashem provided you. Yeah, don't be stingy, so do make a good spread for yourself. But the one time you don't have it, for whatever reason, because the business is not good, or because you forgot, or because you're stuck in a situation. What? I'm in a like as they say in Yiddish, oismensch. He's like not himself anymore. Just because he didn't have his cup of coffee this morning. Okay, people are going to tell me coffee is different. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Coffee shouldn't be there.
Don't joke with coffee.
Don't joke with coffee. My cup of Joe, Starbucks, that I can't go with that. I'll go with that, without everything except that. But it shouldn't. What's the... okay, fine. Mind over matter works all the time. Okay.
شولخانך گدول شولخانم خورشو شولخان شما کوچکتر از اونه ما خودمون گول بزنیم
نه شولخان منظورش ریورد آینده است
مثلا این نفر میبینیش معلوم شولخانش خیلی بزرگتر همینجور که میبینیم باید فکر باشیم
No, it means reward آینده. That's what I said. If you look at the big picture, shulchan is not the literal thing that you see. The big picture in life, there's a lot of things. Understand? It's not only the size of the table, what goes at that table, what goes on. Our relationship with family should matter more. And who knows whose is better? We don't know. We don't know. Turn that on.
Family that plays more stays more.